Tapioca, sago or sabudana. It is rich in carbohydrates and gives lot of energy to us, and it is very delicious too. Making tapioca flour is very easy. You can make it at home and you can store it for a longer period as well. Tapioca is gluten free. For making this tapioca flour, I have taken 1.5 cups of tapioca pearls. I will just dry roast it in a pan. Take a flat pan so that it is easier to dry roast evenly. Good quality of tapioca pearls is essential because it gives a good flavor as well as it cooks nicely as well. While dry roasting it, you need to check that whether it has got heated and all the moisture has evaporated and it is absolutely dry. Once it cools down, we will add it to the grinder jar and we will grind it into a fine powder. While grinding, ensure that the grinder does not become hot. In case it gets hot, you need to stop in between to cool it down so that the color remains white and it does not discolor, as well as it will be absolutely a dry flour. Since tapioca needs more time to grind, maybe you will require to grind it and check in between at least 3 to 4 times, and then it will convert into a fine powder. Usually the flour is a bit coarse in nature and you need a strainer so that you can just strain it so that you just get a fine powder and all the coarse particles are separated from it. The finer the strainer, the finer the powder you will get. My strainer is a juice strainer, so it was a bit coarse. Once you use this flour in the recipe, it will just get mixed up nicely. While straining the tapioca, you can just check the powder, and if you are not satisfied, you can grind it once again. So after straining whatever residue was there, I grinded it once again so that it becomes easier to grind the flour in the grinder jar. Tapioca is used in various ways. We make upma out of it, we make bada, we make kheer, pudding, anything. Even we make boba out of it. All the recipes made with tapioca are really very delicious. Tapioca is also used during fastings as well as any religious festivals. For grinding this tapioca pearls, it took me 3 to 4 times to grind it in the grinder jar, and now these are the granules which I will be separating it and keeping it aside for some future recipes. I don't want to grind further. While I can grind it, but I have just kept it aside. I will create a separate dish with this. The texture of these granules are almost like a fine dalia, which you can see. You can see how granular it looks. You can make firni out of it. You can use it for any other recipes. And now look at the fine powder, how it looks. This is the powder which I'll be using, and I'll also show you how to make a dough out of it. At this point, you can store the tapioca flour in a jar. I will be using all the flour which I have made, and so I am separating a little flour aside because I'll be using it for a recipe. Right now you can see I have reduced, and this is the quantity of the tapioca flour, and for binding I have used corn flour. Usually 50-50 tapioca flour and corn flour is added for the binding, but since I had very little, so I just reduced the tapioca flour, and whatever is there I'm just mixing it. For mixing you need boiling water, and with that you just use a spoon so that you don't burn your hands, and you can just keep stirring till you get a binding consistency. Slowly and steadily add water. Do not add all the water at once. Gradually it will be soaking all the hot water, and with that we'll make the dough. You can gradually see the process as we are adding water. It is getting granular just like breadcrumbs, and then you can see slowly and steadily the texture is changing and they are combining together, and you just need to repeat the process till you get the desired softness, and then we will use our hands. Cornstarch is also gluten free. Tapioca is also gluten free. So this whole recipe becomes gluten free. Though I do not have any problem with gluten, but this is a very good option for the ones who have a gluten allergy. They can use this flour. Potato starch can be used instead of cornstarch as well, and you can also use rice flour. Generally, when we cook tapioca pearls, they become transparent and almost looks translucent, I would rather say. And today I'm trying to make a crystal dough. With this dough, I will make crystal dumplings. You can see while talking to you, the dough has been formed, and you just need to see how soft it is. At this point, we will just add water little by little to smoothen up the edges. You can see once it looks smooth, it becomes soft. Just knead the dough nicely nicely and just combine it together. So you can feel the texture while you are making it. That is much more important rather than any structured recipe. You can just see whether you are able to handle it or not. Once the dough is done, just add a little oil and a little hot water so that it mixes up nicely, and then you just mix it up once again, and then you just allow it to rest in a kitchen corner. Exposure to air will dry up the dough. It will absorb all the moisture and it will become a hard dough. So you need to be very careful whether it is too dry or too wet. So you need to keep it in between so that you don't have any problem while handling the dough. So you can clearly see how the texture is, how the softness is, and how the fingers are getting it, and how the texture looks, and when I'm rolling it, how it looks. So now it's time to just make it a dough, keep it in a bowl and allow it to rest. We will allow it to rest for around half an hour. Resting a gluten-free dough is as essential as a gluten dough because it will eliminate the gritty texture as well as it will absorb all the liquid in it, and it will smoothen up the texture. So while you are rolling the dough, it will not break and it will stick to each other. So any kind of dough, you need to rest it. So after half an hour, you can see now I will be rolling the dough, and you can see how I'm using the dry flour which I have separated so that my hands don't stick to the dough, and I can easily roll it. Since the flour is a bit granular, it's not too fine, but still I can smoothly handle it. So you can see, you take a sharp knife, you cut it into equal parts. Since I'll be making crystal dumplings, so I will be cutting it into small pieces. So you can cut them according to your size, and now I will just again add a bit of dry flour so that it does not stick. And you can keep it covered. Since I was doing it instantly, I did not cover it. So you see how easy it is to roll the dough. Before rolling, just add sufficient dry flour to it and then start rolling it. And see, it's coming circular, it's not sticking too much since I have been adding the dry flour each time. And see how smooth and how it looks. Now this sheet which you have rolled out, you can use it in various ways. You can make a chapati out of it, you can fry it into a puri, or I'll be steaming it. And the texture, what it looks after steaming, you can see. Now you can see that it has torn a bit, so I'll just roll it once again and it will stick to each other. So you can see, you won't even know whether it was torn, it has just combined together. So now let me show you the steamed version, the crystal dumpling which I was trying to make, though adding a little more corn flour would make it more crystal clear. That is it.